This is the StarWorks Kids YouTube show, where representatives of the young but advanced generation, Misha and Sonya, visit specialists of different professions. What for? To choose their own profession one day and tell you about it. StarWorks!
Hi girls and boys, with you again, Michael and Sophia.
Hello everybody.
By the way, a very, very interesting profession awaits her today.
Come on, let's see what you have prepared for me there. So, these are some pictures. It looks like some kind of coloring.
Need a hint?
Yes, please, I really need it.
This person is engaged in health matters.
A doctor?
It is a family psychologist.
Well, Misha, this is very easy.
Ooh. Camera, action.
Invite.
Today I am in Vasilov's studio, and my guest today is the real director.
This is me. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Vasilisa. Let's talk about cinema.
Yes?
Let's go.
I'm with a psychologist, but don't worry, I'm fine. But this is not for sure. This is my guest, Maria Shatalova, but better known in the social networks as a
Psychologist in the kitchen.
Goodbye myths.
Is it true that people who work as psychologists are a bit crazy themselves?
No one is perfectly healthy. Some just under-examined. Therefore, according to this logic, anyone can become a psychologist.
Is it true that psychologists only work in psychiatric wards?
This is not true at all, because in psychiatric wards, and by psychiatric wards we probably mean psychiatric hospitals and neuropsychiatric dispensaries, so there work psychiatrists. They are doctors who prescribe medications for people who have already been diagnosed.
Is it true that all best directors are men?
This is a discouraging question for a female filmmaker. There are simply more of male directors, but there are such directors as Greta Gerwig, who just recently shot her debut film, show us that now there will be more and more female directors, and I hope they will be treated better.
Well, the time has come. Catherine Bigelow!
Is it true that a director should be working in one particular genre?
No. I think that we live in the world of absolute eclecticism, where all genres mix. People mix drama, horror, comedy. Well, comedy should be everywhere, because what can you do without jokes?
Is it true that the director has his own chair with his last name written on it and he gives commands from there during filming?
Well, in America, yes. For my debut short film, that was filmed with help from Vasila's studio, my friends made me such a chair and wrote Fat Director on it. Wait, she's not fat. Why does it say Fat Director? But it was such a female humor.
Chocolate topping.
We'll have one of those with 4 spoons.
More like 4 of those with 1 spoon for me.
Pow wow.
How did you decide that you'll be the director?
I didn't. I'm not a real director. A real one will be here soon. I'm just kidding. I studied acting. When I graduated with a degree in acting, I realized that it was not enough for me to play just one role. The director plays all the roles at the same time. An actor prepares and learns just one role, where the director, by the time filming starts, knows all the roles and feels like already he has played every role. This turned out to be much more fun. That's why I became a director.
Are you on set every day? If not, tell me how much time.
Of course, not every day. Filming is only the pre-final stage of what you have been preparing for the whole year. You will write the script, you'll meet the group, you'll brainstorm, watch documentaries, meet people, and, well, you take a topic and start to explore it. And 4 months before filming, you start pre-production. You start getting things ready, looking for locations, cast actors, recruit a working group for yourself.
Say hello to my little friend.
Hello.
Okay, here's my feedback, maybe a little more threatening.
I'm not threatening my friend.
He's got a big gun, and it's the climax of the movie. He's nuts.
Oh, I get it.
Bring it.
Say hello to my little friend.
You choose who will be your cameraman, who will be production designer, costume designer, You recruit the whole group, then you shoot your movie just for 1 month and then edit it for 6 months.
Then tell us what you do in the office during the working day.
We are lazy bums. Just kidding. We create stories. The main work of filmmakers is to create stories and characters.
You are a family psychologist, but please tell us, do you consult the whole family at once or one by one?
Most often I advise parents, and if I communicate with parents, then children should not be present at the moment, because they shouldn't listen to what we're discussing about them. If I work with children, then I can work with them both in the presence of parents and without them, with their consent. If I work with couples, then of course both spouses must be present.
And who chooses which story to take for the film? The director or who?
Well, a director or a producer. Often it is a producer, because a production movie is more popular in the world and because they want to make money. No one wants to shoot and lose, and the director's cinema is usually like that. But sometimes the directors choose. They create a story. For example, you're very inspired by some story, you really want to tell it. You start walking everywhere and try to pitch it. Pitching is when you present and sell your idea.
If a person at the consultation cries all the time, what do you do?
I'm just a little emotional right now, okay? Y'all throwing all this stuff at me, man. But after this is over, could I get a hug from you or something?
I have not yet had such a person crying throughout the whole consultation. But people do cry from time to time at consultations. They feel that they don't have to be afraid of their emotions, to show their weaknesses and their sadness. When a person starts to feel heard and understood, he gradually calms down.
What is the difference between an adult and a child psychologist?
A person who works with children must have a healthy inner child inside. That is, he himself must be able to have fun and behave like a child. In order to really connect with his little clients.
Do psychologists work for themselves or in some organizations?
Psychologists can work independently and conduct some kind of private practice. They can work in schools and kindergartens and can work in private centers. They can work in public health centers. But then, as we have already discussed with you, a person must be a certified medical psychologist.
How do you work?
I have my own private practice.
Do directors command the screenwriters?
He doesn't command anyone, that's a bad word, but they do work very closely together. In general, a director, screenwriter, cameraman, production designer, costume designer, these are all 5. And the producer on the top of this pyramid. For example, I always feel sad when just one person accepts an award for the best film. I think cinema is a team sport.
Cinema is a sport?
Well, yes. There are awards. Someone is better, someone is worse.
It is Oscar?
Not only, there are lots.
How do you make sure that clients can find you, or you are looking for them yourself?
Of course, clients have to find their own psychologist. Because one psychologist is suitable for one person and another psychologist is suitable for another person. Typically, my clients find me through social networks, where I publish my articles and they can see if my worldviews resonate with their views.
Do you have to get angry at set?
I don't, but I'm just very lucky. You know, Woody Allen once said, hire talented people and you won't have to work at all.
How do you feel about online consultations?
I like them very much and do them quite often. Some experts are certain that personal contact is missing at an online consultation. But there are specialists like me who know that a person can be helped by the use of an online consultation.
What is your favorite movie?
The best film of the year for me is Jojo Rabbit.
Hey, Jojo!
A work of a superb director, Taika Waititi. He won an Oscar for the best adapted screenplay. It is a very cool movie, and all children should definitely watch it. Because this is a charming story about a very difficult moment for the whole world, World War II, but told through the eyes of a child.
And what is your all-time favorite?
Wow, you got me. My all-time favorite movie is Casablanca. It is a classic romantic story that everyone should watch too.
Would you get upset if you failed to help your client?
I would paraphrase this question. What does it mean to help? A person who comes here gets the opportunity to speak out about his or her problems, which is huge help on its own. The outcome and how the situation will be resolved, quickly or slowly, more so depends on the person himself, if not so much on psychologists. A psychologist is not a god or a wizard. A lot in psychological work depends on the person himself.
How do you understand that the therapy was successful?
I get feedback from a person. I see that in familiar situations, a person begins to use completely different methods of solving problems that do not resemble his old self and his previous habits.
Check in.
Okay, let's do a very basic exercise. Before we start writing something, we always define who my hero is, what he wants, and what is stopping him. This is the very basic, because without this, you can't even start to go into writing a story. If nothing is stopping your hero to get to his goal, there is no point in making such a movie, because he is alright anyway. So now I suggest you compose your own superhero.
Who'll be my main character? Chelsea fan, of course. What does he want? For Chelsea to win the Champions League. What's stopping him? Bad defense and goalkeeper.
So he's in the conflict with the goalkeeper.
I don't know, probably the hero will not be a Chelsea fan, but a coach. He is looking for a goalkeeper replacement, but cannot find the right person. Fans of City, United, Liverpool, Leicester, and all other teams, everyone, please forgive me.
Cinema is not a real life. It is an escalation of all angles. That is, if you take, for example, a Chelsea player. He wants to win the championship because he needs money for his wife's surgery. You take it as a base, and then, on the contrary to real life, you develop it by escalating all angles, so it will be interesting to watch.
Well, it's like hate between Piqué and Real Madrid.
Well, yeah, something like that.
I came up with something brilliant.
What is it?
As usual. Okay, this happens in all movies. In all typical movies. I came up with a brilliant idea, but I won't voice it. I will start to work on a movie. Sorry.
Not bad, in case someone decides to steal it. So then, you add character traits and external features, and you will have the image of your hero.
Okay, got it.
Good job. Do you want to try yourself in the role of a psychologist?
Very much.
Then, let's do one exercise. But first, I'll give you a little tip. As a matter of fact, the most important skill of a psychologist is empathy. Empathy is the ability to recognize the feelings of another person and reflect them. Let's do an exercise with you. It's called a mirror. Let's say for the next 10-20 seconds, you will try to reflect me as if you were a mirror. Shall we try?
Whoa.
Sonya, do you think there are good and bad emotions? If so, what are they?
I think that there are no bad emotions, but there are some that need to be contained. For example, anger.
Super. It is not often that I meet kids and adults who think that all emotions are normal. It is indeed correct, because all of our emotions formed some long time ago to signal us about our state of mind and emotional state. So tell me, what is your favorite movie?
Like you, I watched Back into the Future.
Oh, awesome.
And I liked it very much.
Great. Have you seen Harry Potter?
Harry Potter, all sequels, with an exception of the second one, but I saw a bunch of spoilers, so it's no longer interesting to watch.
Why? Why didn't you see the second sequel?
Well, in short, we bought all the discs, and the second part won't play.
I rewatch Harry Potter all the time. That is practically what created me as a director. Would you like to try yourself in directing?
I'm not sure about directing, and I'm already tired of acting at school plays. I did learn how to operate a camera. It was pretty cool.
Have you filmed anything? So you haven't decided what you want to be yet?
No.
It's okay. You still have time. A year and a half.
Challenge.
And now we have a challenge. You have to compose a film from the latest message recordings on your phone.
And what if there's something inappropriate? Just kidding. Joke. Okay. Should I create a story from these words? Moscow has been invaded by mosquitoes, and the great hero Havrosenka, a famous corgi dog, needs to save the city.
How to persuade parents to buy a dog?
A pet is, first of all, a living being, which means a great responsibility. You need to take care of the dog, feed it, walk it, monitor its health. Therefore, in order to persuade the parents to get a dog, you must prove to them that you are able to take on this responsibility. How do you think you could show your parents that you are ready for such responsibility?
If you already have a pet, it will be much easier because you can show that you're taking good care of a pet you already have, which means that you'll take good care of a new one.
You can prove to your parents that you are ready to hold such a responsibility simply by performing some of your daily simple chores.
Blitz quiz.
Are your parents proud of your career choice?
Yes. Most proud of me being a psychologist is my mom. Do you know why? Because she's a psychologist herself.
Do you like your job?
I do.
Would you like your children to inherit your profession?
If they want, then of course, as it is a good, kind, and very helpful profession. Yes.
What is your greatest professional success?
I started preparing a feature film, which I will shoot in September and October.
What is your motivation in the profession?
I'm a cinephile, and therefore I would like someday other cinephiles like me to watch my movie and say, well, this goes to my collection of good movies.
What is the coolest thing about your profession?
The coolest thing about my profession is to communicate with people and get a good feedback from them. Hear that they've resolved their problems and found a way out.
Would you quit your job for another profession if you were offered more money?
The most important thing is that if a person loves what he does, then he can achieve the greatest success.
If you were offered one thing that can be changed in your profession, what would it be?
To make projects easy to find.
Would you like people in your profession to meet and chat more often?
They already chat a lot. All we do is chit-chat.
Emotions up.
It was very interesting today. Do you think I earned a pass on the test?
Of course. So, what do we have here?
Guys, today was awesome because the director's work is very interesting. As I said, I will shoot my film on the phone. I will try to make it very interesting.
I really enjoyed today. We had a great chat. Thanks a lot to our guest, psychologist in the kitchen.
StarWorks!
So, Sophia, how was it?
It was great. I learned that there are no bad emotions.
What about comments?
We accept all comments.
No we, but you. Meanwhile, subscribe to our channel, press that like button and write comments, but not angry ones.
Do repost, share with your friends, push our videos into trending page, and press the bell button. Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's go watch the films that the director recommended.
Yes, let's go. I failed the whole take.